Hi everyone, this is Kassie and these are the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of June the 6th to June the 12th. If you want to watch last week's predictions, you can always click on the link above, or if you want a personal consultation with me, you can always find me on my website www.kassiekai.com, where you will also receive 3 free minutes to use in your first session. If you enjoy my videos, please make sure you share, subscribe, and push the notifications bell so that you don't miss anything that comes up. Today our deck is the Tarot of Mystical Moments. It has very nice illustrations, but for some cards the illustrator made 2 different versions. For instance, for the Emperor there are 2 different cards, one that depicts a male character and another that depicts a female character, so you can use the one that resonates the most. But let's get on with the predictions. For Aries we had the 5 of Wands and now it's the 3 of Cups. The 5 of Wands is an energy that makes you want to fight for something. There is competition, people working at cross purposes and cannot agree on a course of action. With the 3 of Cups you got this week, you will come to realize that you now can come to an agreement with someone, especially if you had a disagreement or a fight and you were looking at different directions. Now you will see that there will be mutual support. That can happen in one-on-one situations, but it can also involve a group of people, because the 3 of Cups often represents group of people, communities, groups of women, sisterhood. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, their feelings are developing, getting stronger, and your emotional connection is getting stronger too. And this week you will experience more harmony in your connection with this person. If you want to know how something will develop, there's a good chance that things will start moving forward in a very positive way, even if energies were difficult the previous weeks. Now things are getting better for sure. The 3 of Cups is the card of friendship, so connections with friends are especially favored this week, and if you had a dispute with a friend, this week you will be able to resolve it. While it's not uncommon under this energy to start seeing a friend with different eyes. The 3 of Cups is Mercury in Cancer, and that means you will be more intuitive when it comes to communications, and you will feel that things are calming down if things have been too intense in one of your relationships. This week things will get back on track, but at the same time you may find that you don't want to talk too much about your feelings and that you will prefer to retreat and get in touch with your inner needs, which might help you make sense of something you are going through now, or it will help you heal emotional wounds. The middle of the week seems to hold the strongest energy, so around Wednesday is when you should expect to experience the most intense energy of the 3 of Cups, while between the 2nd and the 12th and the 11th July, you will probably attend a very significant event or celebration. For Taurus, we had the 9 of Swords and now the 6 of Swords. The 9 of Swords can be a very depressing and difficult energy, especially when it comes to communications, thoughts, messages, because swords are associated with all those things. So messages that were misunderstood and they caused trouble and emotional turmoil in a relationship. Perhaps you had to deal with a difficult situation last week and negative thinking was involved, but this week things are getting better because the 6 of Swords shows improvement of any situation and a release of negative energy that will help you find more objectivity, which means that maybe someone took something personally last week or you took something very personally, but this week you will see a situation from another perspective and you will probably be able to also see where you've been wrong or where another person has been wrong, but in a very objective way that will give you the chance to correct any mistakes that you've made and will help you create a more positive situation in your personal or professional life. Generally, the Six of Swords is about getting a new course. So if you tried something in a relationship or in your career and it didn't work, now you will be exploring other options and you will set sail for new destinations. The Six of Swords is Mercury in Aquarius, and that means that your thoughts are now getting faster, more intense, and more forward-looking, because that's the energy of Aquarius. So you will probably start thinking more about the future of a situation and less about its present or its past. And that means if the future you envision does not feel right or promising, you may decide to let something or someone go and set sail for new shores that probably offer more promising options. Options that appear to be more in tune with your current thinking and attitude. If you want to know how someone feels about you, it appears that they are in a transitional time and they need to work out how they feel. Maybe they're running away from their feelings and they're hiding them. They are dissatisfied with where they are in life in general, and they feel a strong need for clarity and peace. Yet they are unwilling to communicate those feelings. The end of the week seems to hold the strongest energy, so make a note for Saturday or Sunday, as that's when things appear to get interesting. For Gemini, we had the Page of Swords and now the Queen of Wands. The Page of Swords you had last week must have brought you news, messages, communications that were too intense. Sometimes, under this energy, the wrong things are said. And that's because pages are immature and they cannot really handle their energy to its full potential. The Queen of Wands now means that something is getting more mature, more serious, and more exciting, because queens symbolize things we feel passionate about, our desires that push us to take initiative. So if something has been slow, this week there will be more developments and more action. It's possible that you will feel quite ambitious about something, you will feel that you need to get something no matter what, and you will take the necessary steps that will lead you to your goal, or at least you will initiate action that will set the wheels in motion. Queens in general are about mastering something, so if there was something that you needed to learn, this week you'll get the chance to master it. It's very possible that you will have to deal with a person who's a fire sign or ascendant, most likely an Aries, and their energy is very charming, enthusiastic, and sexual. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel they want to do something to show you they care, to show you their interest, their love, or that they like you, depending on which stage of development your relationship is. In any case, there will be some very warm and nice energies this week, so I expect that you will be happy with how things will develop in a relationship. And things will continue to shift and change in the coming 2 weeks, so be prepared for some twists and turns and try to go where energy takes you. Do things that you feel good about, things that you feel passionate about, and since wands are also associated with spirit, I expect there will be some interesting messages from spirit, maybe some synchronicities or significant dreams and intuitive impressions that will help and guide you. For Cancer, we had the Ace of Pentacles and now the Six of Cups. The Ace of Pentacles is something that's offered to you, something that given the time and the effort will grow and develop into a long-lasting situation, or at least it has potential for that. The Six of Cups is your connection. It's about advancing together with someone, and it shows a strong emotional connection that can be either friendship or a family bond or romantic relationship. In any case, whatever it represents, you will find that this week you will make progress by connecting to another in a very meaningful way. People from your past will play a significant role, and there can be a reconciliation with someone, as under this energy an ex may resurface and you will decide to give them another chance. Just make sure that you don't dwell in the past for too long. Take the lessons you learned, but look for doors that are open and welcome, and not at those doors that have been closed or those that are opening and closing all the time, making a situation very confusing. Also, you may decide to visit places you love, places from your past, your childhood, or your youth, and to connect with people you know since you were very young. This is a very nurturing energy, and that's why we can say with certainty that this will be a week that things will start to get better. If you want to know the feelings of someone for you, they feel a very strong connection to you. This is a karmic card, and for that reason they may feel a karmic pull towards you, which may be an unexplained connection to them, and even though there might be some difficult aspects to it, because often this type of relationship has some challenging aspects, and you may be wondering whether it's worth it and what is going on. And the person you are involved with may be very different, but in a strange way very similar too. The Six of Cups is the Sun in Scorpio, and that means you will know secrets this week, or another will reveal your secrets. So make sure you don't get too exposed, especially if you want to keep something hidden. That's a very good energy if you want to figure things out, to go to the root of things, or to talk about deep emotions and hidden thoughts. The end of the week seems to be the most intense, so around Saturday or Sunday is when you will experience the strongest energy. For Leo we had the Sun and now the Ace of Wands. The Sun must have illuminated an aspect of your life last week, something that was confusing became clear suddenly, or you learned the truth about something, and maybe that made you feel good or that made you feel overwhelmed. The Sun is a very intense energy, keep in mind, it burns if you get too much, but it's also a very pleasant and positive vibe around you, depends on how you will use this energy. It can be good times, pleasure, and now with the Ace of Wands, whatever happened last week must have given you an idea of what you can do to improve a situation or what you can do to bring fresh energy, to make a new beginning in something. The Ace of Wands becomes a pivotal point now that can open a door for you in a way that will allow you to experience something new. The Ace of Wands represents action, so this week will not be so much about communications or thoughts or planning, it's about taking initiative to make things happen. You will have to motivate yourself, to inspire yourself, to push through the first stages of something. So if you felt stuck or even complacent, because the Sun can make you feel that way, now you will have to start moving again. So even if something is good and you feel that you don't need to stir the waters a lot, this Ace gives you the message that things can get even better. That's what this energy will show you this week, and only you can take action to make that happen. If you want to know how someone feels about you, they feel very attracted to you, they feel very connected to you, there's a strong spark that can develop into something more, if that's what you want, of course. It will take some time, as you are either in the first stages or you need to push a little to get to the next stage. The beginning of the week seems to be particularly strong, so get ready for some very intense energies around Monday or Tuesday. Actions and developments will be speeding up, as this Ace will give a big energetic boost to whatever you are trying to achieve, and there will be fast communications, fast progress, there won't be delays or procrastination. This will be a busy and fast-paced week for you. For Virgo we had the Queen of Wands and now the Page of Cups. The Queen of Wands is action, so your week must have been very busy. You got the chance to get things done. You got the chance to connect with people socially, sexually, as the Queen of Wands is the most sexual and sensual of the queens. And now this week things are getting more emotional. If you were hoping for a connection to get more emotional, for instance a relationship that was primarily physical, this week you will be getting closer together emotionally, and your bond is getting stronger and more meaningful. The Page of Cups is also intuition that's being awakened. You will feel much more intuitive this week. You will be able to understand, to feel the intentions of someone. So if you felt that someone has been confusing and you feel that something is off, this week trust your intuition, trust that your gut feeling is correct and you will not regret it. The Page of Cups is the beginning of something artistic, so if you have a talent, a gift that's not developed enough, this week you may decide to practice, take a course, to polish your skills or to develop something creative. Another manifestation of this energy is that of healing. So if you have been sick or another person around you is sick, under this energy there will be improvement, a solution will be found, and you will get to a stage where healing starts to happen. And this can also be about emotional healing, if you've been hurt or if you have experienced a very difficult phase. You will now start to heal in some way, and that's the message of this card, to give yourself the opportunity to connect with healing energies, with spirit. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, there are romantic feelings and they are in love with you, or they are getting there, and maybe your connection is new and you have to give it some time to get stronger and more solid. The beginning of this week seems to be very intense emotionally. Monday, Tuesday seem to be the days when you will feel the energy of this page the most. For Libra, we had the Temperance and the Three of Wands now. The Temperance must have put you in a waiting mode, or things got slower and energies slowed down, and now you're stepping into your power again. Maybe you made plans last week. The Temperance is preparation and careful planning, and now you will feel very optimistic about an endeavor that may have to do with business or a connection to foreign countries, and I will also include long-distance relationships here if that's something you have in your life. And perhaps there was a concern last week, and if things have been stopped or blocked, like communications for instance, now things are changing and moving again. You will feel much more empowered and much more optimistic. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, they have warm and positive feelings and they are thinking about the future at the moment, your future together. They may be a bit worried about how your relationship will be in the near future, if there are obstacles that are beyond your control, like for instance other people who are influencing things one way or another. Threes represent growth, so this week there will be growth, new developments. You will see that you are going to make progress in a relationship, either personal or professional, and you are moving towards new stages. And maybe that's something you've been waiting for a while now, because there's always an element of waiting with this card, and that's an element of the Temperance too. So this week you may feel that waiting is about to be over and you will get the first positive results for your efforts. The Three of Wands is Sun in Aries, and that's a lot of energy. It's an overabundance of whatever you wish to manifest. Now, whether too much is a good thing, that's up to you to decide. With the Sun in Aries, expect that this will be a very busy week, almost hectic, but you will feel motivated by the need to initiate action. Under this energy, you can get results for actions you took around March 31st and April the 10th, while Wednesday appears to be the strongest day of this week. For Scorpio, we had the Ten of Swords and now it's the World. Both cards talk about endings and the completion of a stage. The difference is that the Ten of Swords is a difficult energy. It's an energy that makes us feel sad, depressed, in pain, and also point to interference from other people who made things difficult for us. People who caused problems or people who hurt us willingly or unwillingly, but with the energy of the world comes acceptance. It's the moment you know that the cycle is completed, and it's the moment you can see what kind of lessons you had to take from something that happened in your life. And it's about embracing those lessons in a way that will leave you empowered and will allow you to pass to the next stage feeling wiser. You will see what kind of wisdom and knowledge you can get from an experience you had to go through. If you're wondering how someone feels, they must have had some realizations about their feelings or about your connection, and even if things came to an end or were seriously disrupted with this person, since the world is such a holistic card and includes all kinds of energies and all kinds of outcomes, the message here is that even if an ending happened, there's also an opportunity to start on a new basis. Now you need to be aware that we are not talking about a rerun of a previous situation. Getting back together with someone is one thing, but repeating the same thing over and over and getting hurt again and again is not the way to live. So the world invites you to explore all those options that the world offers, to see how you can make your life better, and to include not just sadness and worry, but all kinds of feelings, happiness, joy, even if sadness and worry are an inevitable part of human experience, as the Ten of Swords showed you last week. The world is associated with Saturn, and Saturn is a planet that grants experience through lessons. Lessons that at times we learn the hard way, especially if we keep repeating the same mistakes again and again. So it's possible that this will be a week to prove whether you have learned the previous lesson or not, and if you have, you will get a reward for that, a graduation gift, so to speak. But if you haven't, you may have to repeat a certain experience and do things differently in a way that will open the possibility of a new outcome for you. For Sagittarius, we had the Knight of Wands and now the Ace of Swords. The Knight of Wands is an exciting energy, it's passion, it's about going after what you want without thinking about the consequences at times. It's also strong sexual attraction, it's about going after your goals with enthusiasm and determination. Now you got this ace, and this ace is a weapon. It's a weapon you can hold in your hands and cut through confusion, cut through lies, and get clarity or get a solution. So maybe you took action last week and things were exciting, you are happy, things were progressing, but deep down you were wondering whether you were doing the right thing. This week you will get the chance to see if what you did was the right thing or not. The Ace of Swords is the ability to discriminate. It's the ability to tell what is fantasy and what is reality. It's good to feel happy, to feel enthusiastic, but if there's no real base behind your enthusiasm, then once illusion breaks, you will feel very disappointed. But you don't have to feel that way. If you are aware of what kind of situation you are in and what kind of limitations there are, if any. The Ace of Swords basically says that there will be a message or a talk that will be very enlightening and will help you tell whether something is real or not. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, they feel the need to explain themselves or to apologize about something, or they just want to show you how things are with them and where they stand and where you stand relative to them. If you've been waiting for a message, this week you will receive a message, especially in the first part of this week that seems to be the most intense. If something has been delayed, you can expect that you will get it this week, as the Ace of Swords is a very fast energy. The Ace of Swords is a card of power and control, and it's also about making decisive moves And that's why you will decide to make some moves this week that might appear a little disruptive or too forceful for some, but that's actually what you need to do at this stage to get unstuck if you feel stuck, and to open new doorways that will allow you to create much better conditions for yourself. For Capricorn, we had the Four of Cups and now the Seven of Swords. The Four of Cups you got last week is an energy that can cause boredom and apathy, especially if nothing much was happening or if what life was offering you was not what you wanted. Especially you expected something else, you wanted something more, but that was not being offered. Now the Seven of Swords puts you in a very different position. For some of you, the Seven of Swords does show deception because this card has a reputation that it's the card of lies and deception, so you may want to be aware of that and make sure that you don't trust people who don't deserve your trust, people who cheated on you or lied on you. So if you are dealing with people of this kind, please don't find excuses for them. They are not going to change. However, the Seven of Swords is also about getting smarter, about exploring alternatives that no one else thought to explore. It's about making progress in a way that is smart and even unpredictable for some, and that may give you leverage if you need it. You may come to certain realizations. For instance, last week you had the Four of Cups, and maybe you will now realize that the energy of the Four of Cups, the apathy, the boredom, was the result of doing the same thing over and over and not getting anywhere. But now you will get the chance to make some moves, to have some talks, swords are communications, don't forget, that will change the dynamics of a situation to your advantage. If you want to know how someone feels about you, there seem to be trust issues, and perhaps they are thinking that you are hiding something from them, or you feel that they are being cryptic about something, or about what's going on in their lives. Under this energy, feelings are usually masked, concealed, and that's not necessarily because they don't trust you. It could very well be that they don't trust themselves when it comes to how they feel. In other words, they can't figure out what they feel yet. So perhaps they are still in the information gathering stage, so to speak, or they are trying to overcome an obstacle that they have in their mind about your relationship. The Seven of Swords is the moon in Aquarius, and you will probably feel the need to establish some space emotionally, because the moon in that placement is a bit aloof. But do what you have to, especially if you feel that will give you a greater understanding of things, and it will. For Aquarius, we had the King of Cups, and now it's the moon. That's too much water energy and emotional energy, basically, because the King of Cups as an energy has to do with our relationships, with love, with how we connect to other people emotionally. And he often represents someone in your life who's a water sign, or someone you are emotionally attached to, like a partner or a close friend. Usually it's a romantic partner, because the King of Cups is a love card. With the energy of the moon, there might be some confusion or some uncertainty around the relationship, and that can cause you to have second thoughts, to feel unable to make a decision about how you want things to continue, or if you want things to continue. The energy of the moon, keep in mind, shows often fears and insecurities that can trigger all kinds of subconscious patterns and reactions. But it's not always what's happening in reality, and by that I mean that your fears may be magnified on your mind in a way that will cause you to see things that are not really there, and that could be either things that are very negative or the opposite. You may have illusions about the situation, seeing it more positive than it really is. This is a week you should not take action, and you should not make any decisions, especially when you feel triggered by intense emotions. The moon has a 1-month cycle, so the situation you are experiencing now will progress and will be completed or will come to a head in approximately 1 month from now. You should be patient because there will be fluctuations. Imagine this energy like the phases of the moon, changing all the time, and that's why you should not trust what you see because it will be so volatile. Wait for strong emotional energy to settle down, and then you will be able to make more balanced decisions, and you will know intuitively when that moment comes. You will know when you are in a more balanced and more grounded space. If you're wondering how someone feels about you, this person seems to have mood swings. They go up and down with their feelings. One day they feel one way, another day another way, and there is no stability. Give them some time to come to certain realizations when it comes to how they feel and how they want to proceed in your relationship. Monday is the day of the moon, and that's why the beginning of the week seems to hold the strongest energy. For Pisces, we had the Seven of Pentacles and now the Ace of Cups. The Seven of Pentacles is usually a long wait, a wait that will test your patience and will make you wonder whether something is worth your time and whether your efforts will produce the results you are waiting for. Results that you have not yet seen, and that can be very frustrating. But this week energy is changing. The Ace of Cups is a sign of abundance, and it's also a new beginning. So something will change and a doorway will open for you, and this card is associated with love, and that's where you will notice the most progress this week. You will get the chance to either start a new relationship, to meet someone new, someone charming, or you will get the chance to renew an old relationship somehow. That means either a reconciliation or that you will be able to put an existing relationship on a new basis, especially if there have been aspects of it that were not working at all the last few weeks. The Ace of Cups favors artistic endeavors, and it's also healing energy. You can improve your health under this energy. If your health has been poor, you may find a solution or something that will help you experience better health. If you're wondering how someone feels, they like you, and as we said, this can be either a new relationship or a new love interest. So this Ace is the first stages in love, when emotions start growing, or in a more negative manifestation, it's a relationship that's stuck in the first stages. That doesn't mean there are no feelings though. It could be a blockage that does not allow feelings to evolve to the next stage. But aces show potential and something that can develop into something more solid. The Ace of Cups is when your heart opens and you are more receptive to emotional energies, you are more receptive to love, especially if you have felt closed off the previous weeks, because the energy of the Seven of Pentacles can make you feel and act in that way, or someone around you was very guarded. The Seven of Pentacles is earth energy, is a strong energy that can be very heavy when it comes to relationships. Yes, it does provide a strong foundation to build upon if that's your goal, but emotionally you need more openness, more sensitivity for feelings to flow more smoothly. And this week, that's what you will experience. You will experience an opening either in yourself or you will feel it in another person. So these were the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of June the 6th to June the 12th. I hope you enjoyed them, and I will see you next week. I hope you have a fantastic and productive week.